Thank you so much for listening up, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Weekend. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and also weekend. I know it was Christmas Eve and all this kind of thing, but it was weekend to me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed all the food. What I don't get is, there's 365 days in a year, 364, whatever they call it. And people do eat. Why do you have to eat a little bit more on Christmas? I don't know. It's just beyond me. But that's how people want to celebrate. Eat more and drink a little bit more. Which is
a little bit more. They eat a little bit more and drink lots more.
Yeah, I see. That's the problem. But anyhow, Chiwenga kuti makanakidzwa. You had a wonderful time, and for those that went to see family and friends that they don't live with, just to have Christmas together as a family, I hope you had a good time. And you were not shy to get into the dance floor. I must say here that my twin brother was dancing on Christmas Day, and I did manage to send the video to our Men's Corner WhatsApp group here. And it looks like everyone was thought it was me, but actually it wasn't, because I can hardly dance. Sally, welcome to the show.
Thank you, DJ Sodza. Good evening, DJ Sodza. Good evening, Benford. Good evening, my Sekuru, and good evening, Zimbabweans. Everyone, I hope that you had a safe and peaceful and enjoyable Christmas, and even those ones that are alone. It's time to enjoy yourself. Okay, I mean, it doesn't mean to say that because you haven't got somebody there with you, okay, that you don't have to enjoy. You enjoy. You woke up, you're healthy, you happy, you got a job, presumably. Okay, so I mean, there are lots of things to be happy about.
All right. Were you one of those people that thought it was me dancing on that video?
I know it's you. It took me a while, okay? And I looked, but then when you looked up like that, that was DJ Sodza. I couldn't believe you were dancing, because the one other one I've seen of you dancing, shame, your poor wife.
So what did you make of this one?
You were busting the moves, You should have seen him dancing. You should get up on stage with Japresa.
Sally, thank you so much. That's my brother. I'll tell him that I'll give you compliment.
Hey, listen. Father Christmas hears and sees all, so he won't be good. He won't give you anything good this next Christmas.
Sally,
did lies.
Did you enjoy your Christmas?
Yeah, it was very nice. It was very peaceful, very quiet, full of old people.
You drank a little bit more than you usually do?
I don't drink alcohol. Okay. I am not allowed to. My children say that I'm bad enough sober. They don't need me with drink as well. So.
Sally, sorry, before I go any further, I thought maybe you might be the right person to ask this question, because, can you tell me, Sally, is there a difference between a hug and a cuddle?
Yes, very much so.
Can you tell me the difference?
A hug is when you go up to somebody in a greeting and you just give them you put your arm around them and you give them a hug. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
A cuddle.
Yes.
is when two people that enjoy each other are alone, and they, like, normally the man will put his arm if it's on the bed, okay, we'll put his arm behind the woman, and then she'll lie with her head on his, his shoulder, where his arm meets his body in that little thing there, okay, and that's a cuddle, and then she'll put her arm over his chest, and that's a cuddle. So a cuddle is intimate. A hug is between friends and family.
Right. Okay. Thank you. So, if maybe let me take example for myself, and I'm at work there, and I enjoy a cuddle with one of the girls there. Does that hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. It's just I'm just asking. I'm just giving an example. Now I'm at work and I've got someone there. And this young woman come to me and I give him a nice cuddle. Does that constitute to cheating?
Yeah, not cheating, but it's not a nice thing, okay?
Right.
Because cuddle is something intimate. It's something shared between lovers, okay? A hug, you give her a hug, that's cool, that's not a problem.
All right.
But now a cuddle is getting kind of intimate. It's not. Look, I wouldn't class it as cheating, but I would perform.
If your better half has cuddled someone.
Yeah, or somebody has cuddled, he's allowed somebody to cuddle him.
Right.
You'll be committing cuddle suicide.
Thank you so much, Sally. I'll explain a bit later why I'm asking these kind of questions. But I want to go to Sekuru there. Sekuru, welcome to the show.
Makaniku varidzivenyika nevanotongwa nemasodza.
Sekuru, how was your Christmas there in Birmingham? I heard there was lots of snow there. How are you?
The snow didn't fall on Christmas Day. It fell the day after, Boxing Day.
Okay.
No longer was chande nini atuwirirani. Saka ndakabva ndangoti kududu mumagumbezi ndokutora chibuku changu ndichirimwa ndirimukapu ndichimwa. Zvikandakotsira ndangoti kudubu.
Akumana. So did Mbuya did the wonders there and cook you a fabulous dinner for Christmas?
Mubvana uya kuno akaronga asi aitwa under direction this time.
Oh, makabikirwa nemubvana this time, but under direct supervision from Mbuya.
From the owner.
The owner, Aiwa. Dinofara. May I take this opportunity, Sekuru, to congratulate your team after scraping to a narrow win at Palace a couple of minutes ago.
I think your team as well scraped to a narrow win at the other day, last night. I was watching it at Newcastle. They were really troubled there.
Yeah.
So it's the season of anything can happen. But it was a magnificent win, given what it meant. If we had not won that, it meant we were going to fall back about 8 points from 9 points from the third place team, the second place.
All right.
And
okay.
that would have been a disaster.
Right. Okay. So you still got hopes that you get your 4th place trophy this season?
No. We are going to win the league because at the present moment there's only one team that is playing against itself, and that is Manchester City. So the minute they realize that they are going to win it, they will start slowing down.
Oh, okay.
And when they slow down, they will start getting kicked.
Oh.
Like yesterday they were lucky to win that game. They could have easily drawn that game.
All right. Aiwa. Ndatenda zvangu Sekuru on that. Really, Sekuru still dreaming that Arsenal are going to win this league. You know, it's beyond my thinking capacity to hear Sekuru saying that. But anyhow, we'll give you Sekuru for that. You are a diehard. Anyhow, Regai, let me welcome Mkoma Benford there in America. Mkoma Benford, welcome to the show. Aiwa, tinofara chose. How was your Christmas there?
No, Christmas takaitamba zvakanaka zvikuru.
Aha, and you had nice food. You ate a little bit more and drank a little bit more.
No drinking. Alcohol haitenderwi around.
Ah, okay. You don't put this, toxic stuff into your system.
No, poison. It's not allowed. Ice cream iri nani.
Okay. Aiwa, ndatenda zvangu mukoma Wilbert on that. Mukoma Tafadzwa, welcome to the show. Ndi mukoma Tafadzwa here. No, Chief Zoko. Chief Sose.
Makadi DJ.
Aiwa, tinofara chose makaitamba mushere Christmas.
Musapesanise mazita ema-subject nemazita ema-chief.
Aiwa, no, ndoza kuti muri Chief Sose.
Makadi DJ Sodza, makadi muri Zimbabwe, makadi wose vakatevera.
Tinofara. I know mamusipo pandambotaura na mukoma Teach might have seen it na mukoma Wilbert that I managed to call you guys. I sent a video that with my brother who look exactly like me dancing on Christmas Day, and everyone thought it was me. I got one over you there.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't believe him. Don't believe him.
Oh, I mean, but whoever it was, he was doing it good.
Right, yeah.
He was busting the moves, eh?
I'll let him know.
Ngatiregere kunyepera brother yamukoma Sodza. Ndinongozungunuka zvapana chandakaoneka. I was actually wishing if only Mukoma Sodza could do the moves. If Mukoma Sodza himself could come.
Yeah, but
Don't worry, Mukoma.
I'm telling you.
Mukoma Teach, next time I'll come and do it.
Those feet and those knees.
Have you noticed that he didn't want to ask me about that dance?
About his brother,
No, about that dance. I didn't say about his brother.
I said at least I give an E for effort to his brother.
Okay. Thank you. Sakasekuru, what did you want to say about it?
There is a reason why he didn't want to ask me, because he knows. I know who it was.
Sekuru, haikona kutaura zvisina basa imi Sekuru. Aiwa, gaitipambire mberi. Mukoma Tichi, makatamba Christmas seiko?
Takaitamba zvokuzipikwa zviya seLacoste.
seLacoste. Mukoma Tichi, I saw you on another platform earlier on. You were talking about something that is close to my heart, helping disabled people in Zimbabwe. There, is it Jairus Jiri you were parading there? Can you tell my listeners, our listeners out there, what project are you doing?
We may need to do a proper program on that one in Mukoma Sodza.
Even if
philanthropy, I don't think it is something to throw around.
Oh, okay.
But yes, what we've said is that we collect prosthetic limbs, crutches, wheelchairs, and we send them to Jairus Jiri. A lot of people work in the care industry, and they get exposure to some of these things being discarded, either because their patient or client is getting a motorized scooter and is getting rid of the manual wheelchair. And we say we want all those things. Some work with disabled people, some work with blind people. They can collect my braille, because in this country people replace things after every 5 years or 3 years, or sometimes the disabled person dies. And these things get chucked away. And we are saying that if they are interested, they can go to the Jairus Jiri page on Facebook, which says Jairus Jiri UK supporters, and get in touch with us there, and we'll tell them what needs to be done. And we collect all these things and we put them in a container with our own shipment and send them off to Zimbabwe.
Okay. I'm going to teach you just to say we would like you to come on to explain what they need to do and give my details and all that for well wishers out there. Now can contribute to that. That's one of the things that I'd like as well myself to do. Thank you there, Mkoma teach. Mkoma Wilbert, Maskera Sego.
Hello everybody. Yes, Guru, you were lucky today. Arsenal was nearly
So that luck, you see, you are Zimbabweans, typical. The way you talk about Arsenal is the way you talk about Tanzania. There's no difference at all. There's no difference because Arsenal won 3-2, Manchester drew 3-3, Manchester City scraped 1-0. You still say it was Arsenal that was lucky.
Sekuru is like the MDC. Arsenal to him is like MDC. I'm telling you. It don't matter if they lose. He make excuses.
How do you want me to respond? How do you want me to respond when all the statistics before me shows that every team that won by a very narrow margin, except for Chelsea, which won 2-0. The rest were very narrow margins, but the only one outstanding is Arsenal.
So good kwa magusa Tsvangirai kwa right. Who never win the title.
I want you to change that mentality. You have been corrupted by that doddering dictator. He has killed you.
Okay. Right. I'm sorry. I know it's Christmas. People are having a good time and people are enjoying themselves, but we've got lots of things we want to talk about. Mkoma Wilbert, actually, for being very nice and calm there, may I start with you? Mkoma Wilbert, 2017, this is our last show of 2017. I mean, the rest of 2017, a lot has happened back home in terms of our politics there. What was your highlight of 2017 that you think, oh, this actually was my highlight of 2017?
Personally, I think 2017 will stand out as the year where we came very close to achieving our objective of pushing ZANU-PF to the line to implement meaningful democratic changes for progress. But unfortunately, the people got sidetracked. To me, the march on the 18th of November was totally misguided. And those people who staged the coup took full advantage of it and have been drumming their chest like silverbacks, boasting that showed that people supported them, when in reality that was only an internal ZANU-PF factional war that only replaced one dictator with another, and it did not bring up any meaningful change for us as ordinary people. To me, that was a lost opportunity. And at the present moment, it is worrying because it looks like some people still think, we need to give Mnangagwa a chance. A chance to do what? To consolidate his position? Because if we do that, we will give him a get out of jail card. And if he gets into power next year, he will have 5 years to consolidate his position. And we may find ourselves, even those 5 years, even if we were to get him out into 2023, 5 years of absolutely another lost 5 years of lost opportunity. That to me is a great disappointment.
All right, thank you so much, Koma Wilbert there. Tetero Ziku, America, welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Did you enjoy your Christmas there?
Yeah, well, yeah, I was sick though, but I'm fine now.
Yeah, all right. But you're feeling well now.
Yeah, I'm feeling much better now.
Much better now.
Ndakamborowa nechando ndikarwara.
All right. So you didn't drink a little bit more and eat a little bit more.
No, I couldn't even eat over Christmas. I was so sick.
Wow, wow, wow. We thank God that you're feeling better now. Now, what was your highlight of 27, my sister? Before I go to others there.
My highlight of 2017.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe Mugabe going, maybe.
Mm.
I think that was the highlight for everybody.
Right. Okay. Anything else apart from that? Anything else that came to note, or it's just that for you, the departure of Mugabe will always stand out as the one so progress that that was made.
Well, I don't know that it was progress.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a highlight.
Right. Okay. So you think the coup was the highlight of the year? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, the coup was shocking.
Mm.
We all just did not anticipate that. I mean, we all knew a coup was coming, but I honestly didn't see it coming before the election. I thought they would wait for him to win. But I guess maybe they were in a desperate situation.
Right. Okay.
But it was quite a highlight.
It was quite a highlight. Okay, thank you so much for that. Mukoma Tichi, what was your highlight of 27, my brother?
The coup.
The coup, simply the coup.
The coup.
Right, okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
I mean, I've got lots of other highlights. You know, I've got 2 kids who graduated as bankers.
Yes.
So I've got personal highlights. Mm-hmm. But on the public front, the coup was everything.
Right. Okay, thank you so much. It's very frustrating. I'm trying to type, otherwise one knows if I'm typing here. Vamatangira murukutifonera ne group ratakasoita about last year. If you call with that group, I cannot take your call. You need to stop calling using that group and call just Zimnet main radio. Then I can take your call. If you continue to call on that group, I cannot take your call. Right. Thank you so much. Where are we? Chief Sose.
Yeah, DJ.
A highlight. What was your highlight for 2017?
From Hanzi, we are targeting thieves around you. To Sunday Sun, to Yeah, but of course, I mean, the big thing was the coup that they are trying to sugarcoat as no coup, which of course was a real coup. And as much as it was my highlight, I think it was also the highlight of the world. And I think the world and the people at large are now seeing that it was a real coup and that they endorsed a military takeover in Zimbabwe. So unfortunately, yes, as much as we wanted Mugabe to go, the year, has ended the way it was, the way it started. It's still bleak. Nothing has changed even after the coup, no coup. We are still where we were. Zimbabweans, in terms of their lifestyle, in terms of their livelihood, nothing has changed. And nothing might change, in the next decade. Although there will be a few changes here and there. But nothing in real, time is going to change.
All right. Thank you so much, Chief Sosete. It looks like everyone is agreeing about the coup here. I wonder if Sekuru thinks the coup was the highlight of 2017. Sekuru, do you agree?
Asante sana.
All right. It looks like you are agreeing there, Sekuru. Thank you so much.
Asante sana was the highlight. Everybody was glued. I think it was, I don't know how many Ks. I think 17,000 Ks on my network.
Mm-hmm. You know what, Sekuru? The thing is, I was watching on BBC, on ZBC, on live Facebook.
Yeah.
And I think it went to about 40,000.
Yes, that was the highlight.
Bangu chirandi. Right. Vanhu vanofona vachiita kunge vari pai. Hey, zvakaoma. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Sekuru. So, Sekuru, you are not saying you don't think it was the coup. You think it was that moment when everyone was waiting and someone comes out and say, Asante Sana.
That was the highlight. It was such an anticlimax.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. There's a noise somewhere coming. Tetero, Zico America.
Yeah.
Somebody's eating.
Are you having your dinner now?
Oh my God, you can hear me?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's
I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine.
I mean, I can't hear myself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The system is so clear because you know what actually I used to type. Even I've got all my gadgets here in the studio, and if I start typing on my iPad, people can hear it. That's how.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's how it is here.
I'll stop now.
That's fine. And also there's noise as well coming from.
Just mute your mic. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Lamatangira.
Hello.
Yes, Lamatangira, there's lots of noise coming from there. Makasimba. It looks like right manje. A lot of noise there, but we are hearing you. How was your Christmas?
Christmas was very good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, nice and cold with a bit of drizzle.
Where are you calling us from?
So yeah, it was one of the first ones. The usual place, I haven't changed.
Oh, yeah, in Australia. Okay, right. Thank you so much. Patai Makadaroka. I'll come to you in a second.
Noted.
Mukoma Benford, what was the highlight of yours in 2017? Mukoma Benford, are you there? Yes, Indicata, what was your highlight for 2017?
I think let me identify about three things. For me, the removal of Mugabe, resignation, I think that was the major highlight. And we cannot take that for granted because that man was going to be very difficult to remove, and his removal in any way, whether by coup or by assassination or by what, his removal was always going to be a highlight. That's number one. The match yakaitwa ngachinzi na Wilbert, it was misguided. That was a highlight. That match allowed us Zimbabweans to show the entire world what we can achieve Kanatiri United and how peaceful, how organized we are. You can imagine how many people were in the streets of Harare. Not even a single incident of vandalism. Nothing was broken. It was all peaceful the entire day. So Kwandiri, that was a huge highlight. And then a third highlight that I can emphasize, given we have an important election coming soon, for me was failure by the opposition parties to unite and form one solid coalition. For me, that failure is a highlight because it's going to shape the destiny of Zimbabwe as we move into 2018. And I think the fate of the opposition is almost sealed now. It's certain they're going to lose the election in 2018. And again, ZANU-PF will continue to dominate the politics of Zimbabwe. So those are the three highlights that I can identify.
All right. Thank you so much, Koma, there for being brief. Tete Sali there, what was your highlights of 2017, please?
I can't even say the coup was a highlight because the coup was just a letdown. That march, I loved it for 5 seconds, okay, and then realized the whole thing was cockeye.
set up.
It was just cockeye. Okay? You see, my problem is, remove Mugabe or whatever they were performing about, okay? Mugabe is not 100% of the problem. ZANU-PF is. And we've still got ZANU-PF. And now we've got the murderer of Baghdad and his cholas. And the military is not the military anymore. It's become a ZANU militia. So highlight.
Yes.
No.
No.
Highlight and disappointment, yes.
No.
Very disappointed. I mean, even this Mugabe resigning, I don't take that. I don't even believe it. Okay? I believe that Chiwenga or one of them wrote a letter, took it to the parliament, got the guy to read it, and that's it. Mugabe never said boo, ba, nothing. I'm sorry, I don't believe the man resigned. I believe that they just took power. End of story. I don't believe he resigned.
All right.
Knowing who he is. No way, I'm sorry. I don't believe it.
No, you wouldn't. Okay. All right. Sally, thank you so much for that. Mama Tangira, can I ask you as well there before we go, because I've got lots of things we need to tackle today. It is our last show in 2017 and we need to tackle a few things. What was your highlight of 2017?
Yeah, thank you so much. To cut it short, I'll just cut and paste from Benford. Everything that he said there is good. And Siswepo America, well, yes, the highlight here on Doyangu, the takeover with these military men. I wouldn't call it a coup. That was the best that ever happened to our world. And then the match, that was the best, like Benford put it. What it showed, I can't repeat that. We are Zimbabweans. That's what we are. And the only complication, well, the whole thing has been complicated. The whole world is still wondering what's happening. Everything is good as it is going. But the only thing now, looking at Mugabe's package, I'm very much disappointed because he has gotten more than anyone else would have expected. But to say we didn't see what happened, what the results of the coup, we know definitely well. Mayabaya and the Sunday speech that she did, we can't hear it anymore. And it's all gone. And these people here, what they are doing, we are happy. They should go on like that. And like what Mpomberi was saying there, also I can say the same. If he goes the way he is going, opposition may as well say goodbye and stay in opposition. What they are doing now, if they continue everything going positive the way it is, we are up for them. This is the best highlight that we have ever had.
Thank you so much, Tangira. Kind of in message and DJ, my highlight of 2017 was Grace Mugabe's interface rallies. That's quite interesting. But anyhow, guys, I've got something here. I mean, in Inango, I always look muma social media zvine zviri kunyorwa nevanhu and ndakotarisawo zvangu ndichiona kuti zvine zvakamira sei. I've got a question here. You know, last week we debated here that who do you think is going to be vice president and all that. And came Friday, he named his vice presidents Mohadi and Chiwenga. And I mean, I don't think it was a surprise to anybody, but I'm just wondering. Someone was telling me from Zimbabwe, a very respectable person was telling me in Zimbabwe that actually Mnangagwa is just there. Akangoiswa is just there, but actually our president is Chiwenga and Moyo. You know what? I'm just playing the devil's advocate here. I just want to hear what you say, guys, because what that guy explained to me was, you know, Mukoma Teach tried to explain this. I think it was a couple of months ago when he came out and said that Mnangagwa is gone. We will not have Mnangagwa anymore. He is gone. And this guy in Zimbabwe right now, and he follows politics very well, he said what has happened is Mnangagwa was a dead man. So what happens is people like Chiwenga went and dig a grave out and take Mnangagwa out of there. And he is a decoy to the whole world. because everyone is saying, oh, was it a coup? Was it not a coup? This was a coup of Chiwenga and Moyo and all that taking power from Mugabe by a gun and put Mnangagwa there. So my question to you guys is this guy correct? And if so, who is really leading Zimbabwe? Can Mnangagwa refuse what Chiwenga wants to do with Zimbabwe in this point in time? That's the question there. May I start Nemise Kuru Semunumuku?
Well, I think the issue of Mnangagwa being a captured president is nothing new to Chiwenga or to the securocrats. They captured Mugabe before, and they've got another captured president. I think we made it very clear that the real power broker is Chiwenga, and the troubling thing is Kenny Mnangagwa summoned the guts to name him as VP and face the wrath of the international community that the junta has been rubber stamped, or does he ignore that and just go ahead into the ZANU-PF way? And I think I opined that he would have to do that, and he did it. So as far as I'm concerned, Mnangagwa is a sitting duck president, a manipulative puppet. He is being used by Chiwenga, who is preparing to take over in 2018 after Mnangagwa loses or wins whatever, or he steals the election, whatever. And then he installs himself as the real president. What is Mnangagwa going to do? As far as I'm concerned, the real person behind all is Chiwenga and the securocrats. And he has already planted those securocrats around Mnangagwa so that he has got nothing secret to do other than through them. First, he has planted his key intelligence officers in the military, Shiri and Moyo. And then he has taken over by his side. Where is he going? Then in the securocrats itself, he has made sure that his loyalists are there. So what is there for Mnangagwa really?
Right. So basically, Sekuru, you agree with this guy saying that actually our president is Chiwenga?
Yeah, he's absolutely on the money.
All right. Okay. Sekuru, thank you so much for your thoughts there. I wonder if everyone has got that sentiment. Can I come Kwamuri Wamatangira? Mungati ere mimi munobvumirana ere nemuna nditaura ku Zimbabwe, very respectable person kuti, my brother, our president is Constantine Chiwenga. Mnangagwa is just there as a face, but whatever Chiwenga says is what goes, because I mean, I'm not going to repeat myself. This is a man who was dug off so that the world can perceive to see it as, a constitutional thing, in brackets. Mama Tangira, you're very positive about what Mnangagwa and the wife and the government is doing now. You think this heaven coming to Zimbabwe. Do you think people have got a point by saying that Chiwenga is the president?
He is very good to have an opinion.
Yeah.
And as long as he can support it, that's fine. But he never gave us this thing in advance to say, Muswa 18, you go in the streets and you will do this, and after that, the soldiers will come up. He never did that. So fair and fine, we would allow him to keep it to himself. It's his opinion. But what we now know is these people have come up, they've done what they've done. Yes, for sure, they went and took him away. He was already put in a grave, like he's saying. Literally, that's exactly what had happened to him. But yes, that's what happened. And what have they done? They've put him up here. Now he's leading. Whatever they are doing, they are documenting. Whether Chiwenga has got a hidden motive, still that's not proclaimed. But what we know now is now the vice president is retired from the army like any other. We had Brigadier Felix Michema, we had all the retired, we had Mike Karakadzai in the railways. We have people like that. So he's already retired from the army. If he comes, he campaigns and he wins, that's another story for another day. But for now, they've done a marvelous job. We are here. We don't have Mugabe, we don't have Grace anymore. That's step one for Zimbabweans, especially for those that were born in 1980. They've never known anything else, and this is independence for them. And the rest of the world is happy with that. So if he keeps clicking all the policies, the reverse like he's doing, he puts things positive, the way he did the statement that he said in South Africa, if he clicks all those buttons, I tell you, we can say bye-bye to opposition.
Okay.
And positives for Zimbabwe. That's my opinion, not to be debated. It's my opinion.
No, it will be debated because you've repeated it. We let you have it first time, but the idea of using radio and going unanswered on a political matters is not really the correct platform. It can be done on ZBC, yes, but on this particular radio, there's a diversity. So when you say he's doing this and this and this, and yet he has done nothing, we will challenge you to say, can you tell us exactly one thing that he has done which was not done before?
We still haven't had enough duration to go to that point. But
yeah,
like I said,
but
what he said
vice president for 37 years. He has been in government for 37 years. He staged a coup with a motive. And we want to know what that motive was. Because so far, he has done nothing out of his motive that we have seen.
We haven't had time to assess that. That's why I said if he ticks everything that he said.
You can carry on now. We have challenged you on that one.
Yes, if he ticks everything that he said, we have got the boxes ready now. He gave us the template. We are looking at it. If he ticks, that's my statement. If he ticks, that's my statement. If he doesn't tick, fair and fine. If he ticks, I tell you, we don't look anywhere else.
Yeah, I heard.
We've seen both.
Thank you so much, Wamatakira. I heard they say in English here that the proof will be in the pudding, won't it?
True.
All right. Thank you so much. Regarding the Mkoma teacher, is Mnangagwa, is Chiwenga your president?
100%.
Right.
Yeah. The simple story here is the only people that took a risk that could have resulted in them being sentenced to death were the soldiers, not Mnangagwa. If this had gone wrong, Mnangagwa would not have been guilty of anything at all. The only people that could have been sentenced to death had this gone wrong, and the presidential guard had been able to do the job that they're supposed to do, which is to protect the president. And the police support unit had arrested Chiwenga on arrival for a coup plot. Mnangagwa would have walked scot-free. So the only people that took the decisive action and the risk attended to the whole process of the coup were the soldiers. So the truth of the matter is Chiwenga is the president. He is the person who swallowed the bullet. So at the end of the day, to think that Mnangagwa could fire or tell Chiwenga what to do is self-deception. Simple as that. I can't see those guys having taken that kind of risk being ordered around. So at best, it's a joint precedent. At best.
That's not that guy told me that at best it's a wrong thing. He's the president, but you are saying you are agreeing with him, but you are saying at best joint.
Yeah.
Just trying to be polite.
For political expedience, the soldiers need the masses, and they need a civilian face. I've said this before, and you know this. Mnangagwa right now is a military puppet. That is the simple bottom line. It's why all his immediate appointments had to be reversed, changed, tweaked, because the military is still making their decisions. You see, if you look at the fact that he appointed ministers, within hours, they were changed. So there's an issue there. If you look at the way he immediately appointed 8 judges to the High Court, and then you realize that more than 60% of personnel in the Prosecutor General's office are seconded, active army officers that have been seconded to the Prosecutor General's office. It tells you that the military precision already had George Chiwenga to do all the judgments that they wanted, which they went on to do, to say the coup was not a coup, but was a justified military intervention, and the dismissal of Nanga in the first place was unconstitutional and illegal, and as such he is reinstated. These were judgments of uncontested within hours done in the High Court. So they already have their judges, they already have their prosecutors, now they have their ministers, they already had seconded military personnel in the various key ministries. The president is absolutely Chiwenga.
Okay. Thank you so much. You could not have put it clear there. Let me go kuna Chief Sose. Let me hear what Chief Sose have to say about this. Whether you agree with what others are saying or you tend to disagree. We discussed a lot about why is Mnangagwa taking so long to appoint vice president, and we wonder who was going to be the vice president there. But now, following the announcement on Friday last week and the swearing in of today, people are telling me in Zimbabwe that this is indeed our president. Whatever he says is what goes. Mnangagwa is just there as a decoy. Do you agree with those people, Chief Sose?
Yeah, it's painful. It's not what that DJ. I mean, because it's very true. It's very official that Zimbabwe is now under military rule, with Mnangagwa a de facto president or a lame duck president. The actual power behind the throne is Chiwenga, and maybe shortly will be adding Chiwenga and Mary, because she's coming out. Very. Yeah. We'll be seeing a lot, of her, as we go into the new year. But I'm just worried, like I said, that Zimbabwe is going to be, the first country that is taken over by military, and we are there, Zimbabweans, cheering them on. Tichivaomberera maoko, tichivavonga kuti these are our saviors. But we are getting into a military rule. I've never seen a nation, I've never seen a country that moves forward after it has been coup d'etat, after power has been, taken by the military the way it was taken in Zimbabwe. And like you said, the taste of the pudding is in the mouth. We will be watching, just like the international community, the world, the regional community is watching what is going to happen in the next few months. Yes, we are seeing the military even retiring, from their positions and going into what they are calling civilian rule. And everyone is wondering, this is a transitional period, and we are having Chiwenga retiring from his permanent position or almost permanent position, or a position where he can be, given, long life. Here he can be taken out in the next 8-9 months. Are they really going to step down? Are they really going to come down? We are also watching what Mnangagwa will be doing. I know people are going on Facebook, social media, saying Mnangagwa has done that, he has reduced his motorcade when he has actually not, Mnangagwa has gone to church like a normal person when at 5-6 a.m. soldiers were there trying to clear everything up. Nothing is real. He's just raw, modeling, getting into a role, and he's trying to play the role. But we are watching, the world is watching. Is he going to do the most important thing that Zimbabwe wants? Is he going to enact electoral reforms? If he doesn't enact electoral reforms, if Zimbabweans, as I think and as I hope, that they are going to do a protest vote, and they are going to do an emotional vote after they have discovered that vakaitiswa, because that's exactly what is going to happen. He's going to refuse to do the important things like enacting electoral reforms, and people are going to see that they were duped, and people are going to go to the ballot box and exercise their rights. I was talking to people in Wedza, vanhu vari kumusha, vamwe vacho havasitombofara nezviri kuitika, and I anticipate what happened in 2008 happening again in 2018. That we panoiswa gudo apo, poiswa Mnangagwa, and people will go and vote for the gudo. That's what I foresee, because Zimbabweans are beginning to open their eyes. Hatishunuri musumu wechete, imbwa mbwanana hatishunuri musumu wechete, asi vanhu vakushunura right now. Vari kuzviona kuti zvakaitika zvaisingafanira kunge zvakaitika. And I just want to urge Zimbabweans to keep looking at what is happening, not to drown with their heads. Ngavanyure asi musoro uri panze vachiona kuti chii chiri kuitika. And then we'll see in 2018. And I can assure you, DJ, if something happens, if the army does what we expect that they are going to do in 2018, the world will be watching, the regional community will be watching, and Zimbabweans will also be watching. They are going to defy them the same way that they defied them on the 18th.
All right. Thank you so much, Chief Sose. Ndoda kuti ndipinde muchitoro in the next 5 minutes, but ndandoda kuti I will squeeze Mukoma Benford there. Mukoma Benford, if I may come to you, please, my brother. Is Chiwenga really our president now?
DJ Sodza, unfortunately, I tend to differ with what most of these guys are saying.
Right.
I actually think by giving Chiwenga the VP position, Mnangagwa is actually clipping wings from Chiwenga. What people don't realize is Chiwenga was more powerful as the general we army than as VP. He has no source of power behind him as a VP. In this phase, it's true probably that the army had a lot of saying in what was happening. But if you look at it, we are going into an election 6 months from now, and after that election, Mnangagwa would have gotten the mandate from the people. Kanaka win my election, EY. So much so that Chiwenga as VP cannot say, I'm the one who put you there, because he will be saying, I was voted by the people. And now you look at Chiwenga now as VP, Ana Animal Powers, the man who is in charge is now Valerio Swanda. If Chiwenga is to come back and say, no, Mnangagwa, you don't listen to what I'm saying, it means he has to go back to Valerio Swanda and say, can you back me and bring the army over? And we are just assuming that Valerio Swanda would then be in agreement with what Chiwenga is saying. So Chiwenga, has been weakened by being the VP. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a ceremonial position, and he can now be, he can be fired. Just as Mnangagwa was fired by Mugabe, and you have to depend on somebody, reacting. So if Chiwenga wanted to maintain power, he was better off staying as, the general.
Right. Mukoma Benford.
Yes.
Do you really think, it's me asking Ozang, a novice on this. Do you really think Chiwenga is that daft, to take that action that he did to topple Mugabe and, weaken himself by, resigning as general there, knowing that he's going to be given maybe vice president, which really he can be fired any minute, and maybe, don't you think he's got a say on who succeeded him?
Okay, here is my analysis to your question.
Yeah.
I don't think Chiwenga will be fired. I think he was foolish to take the VP position, because as far as he's concerned, zvaifana kuitika muZANU-PF leadership ndezvekuti vaifana kumaintaina the original hierarchy yavaiva nayo. Unlike what was happening, that Mnangagwa, who according to Chiwenga and these other ZANU-PF guys was the next in line to succeed Mugabe. He was now being kicked out to be replaced by Grace. So Chiwenga, when he gets there, he can sit comfortably, knowing that after Mnangagwa leaves, he is the next in line to take over from Mnangagwa. So he can, according to ZANU-PF hierarchy, ZANU-PF way of doing, leadership structure, he will sit comfortable. But in terms of him having powers to run the strings, you will know that Mnangagwa is above me, and he will be accountable to Mnangagwa.
Okay, right. So you differ with what people are saying. You think Mnangagwa has got all the powers and he can fire Chiwenga tomorrow if he wish to?
Yes, especially after winning the election 6 months, 7 months from now. Aga winner that election, now he has the mandate of the people. And unengasina zvekuti ndiri kudependa newe wakandisa pachinzvimbo wakuti he can tell him that I was voted by the people. And akasaperform according to Mnangagwa, he can fire him.
So you are saying that in 3 months' time before the general election, if Mnangagwa can come out and say Chiwenga basa rakurapera out, is that possible?
Right now, as it's unlikely that that will happen, but as VP, he can be fired.
Okay, all right, but is that likely?
It's very unlikely. The probability is almost zero. I don't see that happening. I think he will serve as VP until when Mnangagwa will step down, and he'll probably take over from Mnangagwa. As the next president of Zimbabwe after Mnangagwa.
All right, I know.
This is a disclaimer. The opinions expressed by contributors during radio call-in shows are solely those of the individual callers and do not reflect the opinions of Zimnet Radio, DJs, presenters, managers or administration. Listeners are encouraged and advised to seek the services of qualified professionals for their personal problems.
In touch with the best online station, Zimnet Radio.
Are you looking for work in health and social care nursing? Then look no further. Creek Recruit is here to hire. Creek Recruit offers temporary, permanent and contract placements to great prospects like you across England. Give us a call today on 0333 222 4027. That's 0333 222 4027. Or email us at info@creekrecruit.com. Step into your future.
Make the whole world know about your business. Advertise with Zimnet Radio. Email marketing@zimnetradio.com.
so much. 6 minutes gone after the hour of 11 in the United Kingdom. If you are just joining us, we are just kind of shed a light on what's happening in Zimbabwe there politically. A lot has happened since the 13th of November. From the debacle of the Asante Sana and all the rest of it. And now, even, here in the UK, people that know that I'm from Zimbabwe myself, my work colleagues, they come and say, so are things okay now in Zimbabwe? And some people are saying, well, I was reading that all those guys who were coming out and saying that they are targeting the criminals and all that, all of them are now ministers and the other one is now vice president. Was this not a coup? Some Indian friends of mine I work with now asking me that, and I'm thinking, wow. Anyhow, before I go, Panewa Vasatwataura 3 there, the question here is Chiwenga really now our president? That's the question I've asked it. But again, this, there are some very loyal listeners here who have been listening to this show for the past 8 years. Right. Kwanzi Sodza, my highlights Chaiwo for 2017 was Lamek at that graveyard. I don't know if you guys remember about that guy Lamek. And also that Kurowa Kwaja Preza at the funeral. Those were the two significant highlights of 2017. That's another brother of mine there sending me that. This one is saying that, DJ, can you ask the panel for me, where is Sidney Sekramai? Was he dropped from government? Is he just a ZANU-PF card-carrying member? Or he was a G40 cabal? Mukoma, that's a total different topic altogether. We shall embark on that in future. Tetesali.
Yes, DJ Sodza.
Yes, Tetesali, is Chiwenga now our president in Zimbabwe?
Yes.
People are asking.
Yes, 1,000,000 times.
Okay.
And still 1,000,000 more times. Look, yeah. You see, this is what I can't handle, okay? It's how people select facts or select beliefs, okay? Number one, if Chiwenga had not made this military takeover, publicly military takeover, okay, Mnangagwa wouldn't be where he is. Right?
Yeah.
Because the whole thing was Chiwenga. Chiwenga was threatened by Mugabe. If you care to remember, okay, which I don't think these people really want to remember, Mugabe threatened Chiwenga when he comes back from China, he's going to be arrested and had up for treason. Okay? The police were at the airport waiting for Chiwenga to arrest him. Chiwenga, being not the fool that people try and make out that he is, had already organized for the army to be in the shadows. So when the cops went to arrest him, the army arrested the cops. There we go. Cops were taken off the street, that's the end of it. Okay? Now, if Mnangagwa was the instigator of the whole coup and was this magical man that suddenly jumped in a big bath of bleach, okay, and did away with all his past sins and all his corruption and everything else, okay, then why did he only come back at the very last second? He trusted Chiwenga so much that he waited until the very last second to go back to Zimbabwe. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, Mnangagwa, your savior, are you that desperate for a savior? This magical man, this professional killer, okay, who had charge of every single ZANU-PF business, all the parastatals, and where are they today? Now this man is going to magically revive the economy, okay? And the army that is your gods, okay? That very same army in 2008 was doing what? And 2013. Under whose orders? Now, these are the people that are your demigods. These are the people that you're going to wait and see. Wait and see for what? You've been waiting for 37 years. The faces haven't changed. No God or Mzimo or anything has come from heaven and stuck a hand over these people and wiped everything clean and suddenly made them into different people. No way. These are the same block your children's ears bastards that ruined Zimbabwe, that put the economy where it is, that killed the people, that had a massacre in Matabele land, that nobody knows where Itai Dzamara is, and everything else. Now, these are the people that I must wait. Wait for what? Right. I've been waiting 37 years. Not one of them stood up and did anything. Now, the army, Zimbabwe was militarized a long time ago, but it was never out in the open. It was all now, thank God, it's out in the open. But what do people do? People put on a Trump visor. Now all of a sudden, they'll give him a chance. Wait and see. People, please.
Okay. Right. Sally, so in short, Chiwenga is in charge there.
Yes, definitely.
All right. You don't buy what Mkoma Benford is saying, that Chiwenga is weakened, he's only a vice president, and Mnangagwa can chop him any minute?
I expect something like that from Benford. He's in America.
Right.
Okay. Trump people.
What is that supposed to
all
mean?
Those excuses. Every single one of them. Okay? And now the Zimbabweans are doing exactly the same. Wait and see. No. Please, people. Wait and see what? Carry on, you wait and see. I'm not giving them a chance.
Okay. Nothing. Thank you so much, Sally. It's clear for everyone to see. Mkoma Rosie, Tete Rosie, let me just aid you there, Nasali. Do you think that Mnangagwa is in charge there, or you've got this sentiment that in fact Chiwenga is indeed our president?
Well, the army has always been in charge. I don't know why people think the army is not in charge. The army has always been in charge. In 2008, when Mugabe said he was going, if you read the WikiLeaks cables, they said, no, you're not going. You know, they have been in charge since I don't know when, maybe since right after independence, who really knows? And if you really watch, like I watched some of the pictures say a lot. Look at the body language of Evan Vezanu when they see Chiwenga and his wife. They are there kneeling, doing all kinds of stuff. So you can clearly see that they want favor. They know who's in charge. You know, and so as far as I'm concerned, Chiwenga is in charge. And and one of the things that I really honestly think, when Munanga was always going to be the one they were going to place after Mugabe. I always believed that. The army, the army was always wanted Mnangagwa. And then after that, at some point. But what I also see is, just because Mnangagwa is now in charge, he's just a figurehead. He's somebody who the army believed would carry on the values of ZANU-PF. Yekuti ma-war vets ndo vanhu vari pamberi, ndo vatinorespekta, hechichi. But to get Mnangagwa to power, they used a lot of people. They used activists, they used a lot of young people. And I think Mnangagwa was promising a lot of people different things. That's why people believed there was going to be a transition. They believed a lot of things. But when it actually happened, the people who were in charge made their decisions on who was going to be in the cabinet. You could actually see some of them being in shock because they expected something completely different. Chiwenga is in charge.
All right. Okay.
There's no question about it.
There's no question about that. Chiwenga is in charge. But did you also agree with the sentiment that now that Chiwenga is a vice president, the Constitution of Zimbabwe says that the president can actually fire the vice president at any given time? Do you see Mnangagwa tomorrow waking up and say, "Kuti, you're fired"?
No, I would like to dare Mnangagwa to try.
Right.
I think he knows better. He wouldn't try that. I mean, if you look at all the people from the military who have now joined government, who have joined the Justice Department, everything, the military is fully in charge. Mnangagwa knows his place and he plays his role.
All right. Thank you so much, Tete. Let me give Mkoma Wilbert a chance there. I think Mkoma Wilbert, you haven't commented on this one. Who is your president, Mkoma Wilbert?
I think people are reading too much into this issue. Let's be honest here. Mnangagwa, Chiwenga, and all the other big guys in the military and the war vets knew if G40 got into power, they were finished. They were history. They were in the boat together. They knew after Mnangagwa was booted out, they were not going to survive. The coup was their only option. So in this particular case, Chiwenga was not saving only Mnangagwa or a few other people. He was also saving himself. And Mnangagwa is actually admitted that this is why he was able to say, "I'm coming back," because the coup had been agreed with Mnangagwa and all the other top guys in the plot. So this was going to happen because they knew they will float together or they will sink together. So the fact that Chiwenga is no longer in the army also weakens this position, because once you are outside the army, you are not as powerful as you are when you are in the army. And the army, I agree, it wields a lot of power. But once you are a vice president, you cannot pretend to be still the commander. You are not. And in this instance, it was a situation where Mnangagwa and Chiwenga had agreed that they will be rewarded. And all of them have queued up and they've all got their reward for participating in the coup. Chiwenga got his VP, Parents Shiri is now a minister, and so forth and so on. But that was part of it. But that comes back to what I was talking about earlier on, that ZANU-PF has not changed. The dictatorship, the junta, the Joint Operation Command, has actually consolidated its power. If anyone thinks with next year's elections are going to be free, fair, and credible, where the likes of Chiwenga will have to stand as a member of parliament or whatever it is, and risk losing that seat and be booted out. And Parents Shiri, the same thing. If you seriously think that is going to happen, the likes of Chris Mutsangwa standing in Norton and risking being booted out because the elections were free, fair, and credible. You live in another world. That is not going to happen. These guys are going to make sure that not even one single democratic reform is going to be implemented. And they will be, yes, they will try to hide the evidence of the vote rigging, but they will make sure that ZANU-PF retains power. And in this particular case, they may not even have to rig, because a lot of people have come to the opinion or conclusion that we've had a significant democratic change with the going of Gabe, and they're going to vote for ZANU-PF without even any more coercion. They will not need to coerce them if people are going to vote for ZANU-PF. But if there was any threat of ZANU-PF losing, mark my word, ZANU-PF will see to it that they rig the elections, period.
So who is calling the shot? Are you saying is the army? So Chiwenga has got no power.
But at the present moment, I think Mnangagwa has been smart enough to realize that yes, if Chiwenga and the others who were in the country had not put their necks on the block, he would not be where he is. And he honored his agreement with them to promote them, and he has promoted them.
Now, hold on a second. I'm losing you guys here. Sorry for picking on you, Mkoma Wilbert. I want someone to explain to me here. You are saying that Chiwenga, you and Mkoma Benford have said that Chiwenga was in a better position in the army as an army general than as a VP. So you are saying that he has been demoted. Let's put that clear.
No, he hasn't been demoted. What you've got to
But he's got no power now. So that's a demotion to me.
No, in terms of military power, he doesn't have the military power. The VP does not have the same power as the commander. So in terms of military power, yes, he doesn't have military power. But in terms of political power, he still has got a lot of political power, particularly in this particular case where I think Mnangagwa will honor his promise to him to deliver on when he goes, Chiwenga will take over. So on that respect, he is okay. But also what they've got to remember is this last month when the Minister of Finance, Patrick Chinamasa, presented this budget, one of the things that he has said very clearly is that all civil servants over the age of retirement, I think it's 65, will be retired. So even those in the army may also be finding themselves being retired. So in this particular case, being moved to a VP, you can stay on until, for the sake of argument, like Mugabe has done, into your 90s. So in terms of his own security, he's even more secure now. You know.
All right.
I mean, I disagree with these people who keep saying with the ZANU-PF, people are going to vote for ZANU-PF. People don't want to vote for ZANU-PF. You talk
we will vote.
Talk to people in Harare. We are watching Taganyara Tagapusa.
Now, but
ZANU-PF doesn't even know what it's in for. They don't even know what they're in for. People don't want to. They don't know the things we know. Because Zimbabwe but I can tell you right now, ZANU-PF, I know you have to advance the propaganda so that you can read. I understand. But people will not vote for ZANU-PF willingly.
Okay. Right. All right, Tete, right, a couple of messages coming through. If you're out there and you've got a message to send Kunokuma Studios, please do so. We are interactive and we want to hear from you as well, because the show is not only about us and the panelists here, it's about you guys out there listening as well. Merry Christmas to you, Koma Brian in crew. I think that hi DJ Sodza, the fall of Mugabe from power was my major highlight of the year. Since birth, I had never know another president. We are in the same boat, Mkoma. I was born after independence, and Mugabe was in situ, and really it is refreshing to see someone else. Albeit, I'm now told that Chiwenga is the president by some people here. But anyhow. Mkoma Robert, where have you been, my brother? We always hear. He said that it's quite therapeutic for me to tune in to Zimnet Radio again after some absence due to pressing work and family problems. I think the military was running the country from the time of Mujuru and Jinawashe. They were pulling strings from the background, but it's only just now that they have come out in the open for everyone to see. Yes, Merry Christmas to you, Mkoma Robert, there and your wonderful family. Now, right, WhatsApp number yangu 0798 4455 349. That's 0798 4455 349. Teto Mashoko, Merry Christmas to you.
Nevio.
Makaiti zvakanaka.
Takaijika zvakanaka zvedu, kungofunga chete kumuchasi. Zvinowanikwa futi zviuku zvakaomarara zviya kuno, saka ameno kwenyiko.
Zvima road runner.
Road runner mkwashongo.
Lovely jubbly. Mozoya mufundisawo mudzimai wangu kuti kanobikwa sei, because akandipisira the other day.
Munenge muchivabikisa pakushift kani. Varume vechizimbabwe muchimbochinja. Kwe mwana wangu unoita sezvinonzi hatina kumbogara pasi wani.
All right. Okay, Tete. Now, Tete, who is your president as we speak? Chiwenga or Mnangagwa? Because people are telling me that Chiwenga really is now our new president.
Munoziva kuti pane munhu one, unfortunately ndaibatira pakati. Sekuru wangu tichi mukanzwa vakanyarara vane reason yavanenge vataura. I wouldn't be surprised kuti vataura already who really is in charge and the dynamics behind it all. Muri kuona vana vakabva vese kuhondo, vakaruka bonde ravo vese, vakaitirana chitsidzo, and vanoziva vari in the know-how will tell you kuti vanhu vakabikirwa sadza kubvira vari kunyanzonya vagoenda Zambia kusvikira vaenda kuLancaster vari vese. Then again, the other thing that people need to understand is when you are talking of army, what is army? Who are we talking about? It's the same people. Vakaenda kuhondo vakadrafta, be it matalks, pese pakataurwa kunzi taakuzotora Mnangagwa ndiye uchazoisa position ipi. Those people are as thick as thieves. As thick as thieves. Do you know, if a number of people, social media, those who were following social media, mazuva aitaku, those who were in the know-how of knowing ini kwandiri, when people talk about the cabal, ndo the cabal yachona yoyo. Not yes ya Mugabe, really, if you want to be honest, Mugabe kupera kwetenya yake kwa pasina cabal to speak of. Vanga va malech ons, bana mafiki zolo vanga va kungoda kungojira. Because if you look at it, vana vanga va sina kwenda kuhondo. And futhi vanga va sina the understanding yekuti hondo yachona, what does it mean to these old guards? Iye zvino chirangano chiya chavakaitirana kubvira vachiriko kuhondo vagodzoka, be it vakadzi vavo chaivo arambwa akaroorwa vese, they always knew kuti what is happening with who ndiani. Munoziva Mutasa uya. I'm going to tell you something that most people don't know. Munoziva mari yakaipa ZANU-PF ine utsinyi. Mutasa uya anoziva pane zvitunha zvevanhu vazhinji vemuZANU-PF. Mutasa musi waida kubuda Grace Mugabe achida kufumura Mugabe didn't want to marry Grace at all. I dare vanhu vanonyatsondiziya vanditi ndiri kukunyeperai. This is first hand information. Haikona zvezvokuti ndakanzwa nemakuhwa. Vanhu vakati Mutasa was the person akaenda kunopfugama pamberi paGrace kuti nyarara regera tigadzirise zvinhu. Vana Mutasa nhasi vatorwa vakaitwa spit out. Chances are whatever zvavakaitirana vakakanganisirana, that's why vana Mutasa are finding themselves out of the cabal. But the tight relations, even those people vari kutaura nhasi kuti Mnangagwa really is a puppet, inena I will tell you, Mnangagwa is nobody's puppet at all. This is an agreement yevarume, a cabal inogara pasi voronga nyaya yavo vobvumirana. Mukosha wangu ataura beforehand kutaura kuti ma-elections, kana muchifunga kuti ma-elections achabvuma, you are joking. Hakuna ma-elections ari free and fair achaitwa muZimbabwe. The day vanhu yavakaita stand by vakaregera a change handover of power ichiitika, they just reinforced their power, period.
Now, thank you so much, Tete Wemashoko there. I normally don't do this. It's 11:30 Kunoku UK. I just want to squeeze a couple of things in there. I'm sorry. Kwanzi Kunoku, thank you so much for getting in touch, my brother. I don't know if I should say your name, but I will read it and you know who you are. It's saying that, when you send me messages through the WhatsApp platform, please just tell me your name, and also let me know if you want me to share your name with everybody. Then I can do that. What I don't want to do is to mention your name if you want to remain anonymous, because confidentiality is where I work, and we want to uphold it. Now, Kwanzi DJ Sodza, Chiwenga is still in charge of the army, even though he is now VP. That's the reason why G40 and Lacoste got rid of Solomon Mujuru, because no one dared to say no to him. Chiwenga is our president, DJ. There is no question about that. That's my brother Zekani. Now, panel someone and something that they are dying to say about this debate that we're having. People saying that Chiwenga is now our president. If someone has got something that they need to spit out in 2 minutes, please go ahead before I ask a second question.
Yeah, Ndingango Jambi Pop-Up. I just want to confirm Sotaro and Benford and the other guy. Yes, by getting into the civilian Ajisiako army, yes, he was clipped of his powers. So Mnangagwa was very clever in doing that. So he has actually strengthened his position. But also, on the contrary, by doing that, he has also strengthened his position now as a vice president. Now he's got more perks, much better than being in the army. So it's just a give and take kind of situation. Yes, he's demoted, like he wanted to say it that way, in terms of military, but very much upgraded in terms of the civilian way. Now the sky is the limit for him. If they do the elections well, like I said before, they tick all the boxes the way they are doing, the light is out, they really can go further. And we will vote for them. I am one of them who will vote.
You vote for them. Mama Tangira, if it was you in the shoes of Chiwenga, would you have stayed ku army, or would you have taken this vice president knowing that you are weakening yourself?
Yeah, being in the military and being in that position, even Shakaita he really laid, he saved his life from Mnangagwa. So for sure, what he has done is good, but otherwise, yes, I would really leave the military and become a vice president. And the prospects I have, like Benford was saying, if he eventually becomes the one after Mnangagwa, should they win and continue in that trajectory, he is in a better position. So I would do exactly what he did.
All right, thank you so much. Anyone else have got something to say there, guys, before I go any further?
Yeah, can I say something?
All right, Mkoma Teach, go ahead.
I just wanted to give meat to what Tete Mashoko said. The only difference will be that Mnangagwa will always remain.
Sorry guys, I'm out now.
Will always remain the face of the military. Chiwenga and the generals that did the coup did it as a cabal. Chiwenga did not do this coup on his own. So Chiwenga leaving the army does not weaken him at all. He remains the head of the military activities that resulted in Mnangagwa becoming president. It does not matter whether he's in the army or he's vice president. He has played his pivotal role, and it's him who has promoted the people that are following behind him. You must understand that when all these generals were holding these positions on 1-year rolling contracts, they were holding back the promotion of various people from captain to lieutenant colonel to majors to lieutenant colonel to colonels to major generals, lieutenant generals, etc. within the army command. So when Chiwenga left and Trust Mugoba went to the African Union and Valerio Spanda became the CDF, it meant that it's not only the people immediately under them that went up a grade. It's a whole chain of command that actually had an opening, moving up a step each. So, meaning moving up in terms of rank, moving up in terms of perquisites, moving up in terms of status, moving up in terms of influence. These are their people who know clearly that we are where we are because our commander did a coup. We are being promoted and going upward because our commander did a coup. Chiwenga's influence, we can never take it for granted.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just.
Can I say something as well?
Yeah.
And then I can say something after her.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I wanted to agree with the people who put the free and fair elections in Zimbabwe are just not going to happen. I believe that too. I don't actually believe we'll have free and fair elections. Those elections will never be free and fair. They will rig them. They'll do whatever they need to do. But will the Zimbabwean people actually willingly vote for them? No. But they're going to do whatever they need to do to stay in power.
Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you so much. Mukoma, Chief Society.
Yeah, there's just another side of the story here why Chiwenga is where he is today. You know, Mnangagwa and his handlers know that Mnangagwa is not popular in Zimbabwe. He doesn't have any grassroots support. Very few people would go out there without being coerced to go and vote for Mnangagwa. This coup actually almost like propelled him to the small or short-lived fame that he has right now. But, you know, in totality, Mnangagwa does not have the people's support. That's why you're seeing his handlers, his advisors are going all out on social media, you know, and spreading this propaganda, you know, lying to the people of Zimbabwe, trying to role model Mnangagwa, trying to make him into some kind of a savior, into some kind of a, you know, a person who is going to change things in Zimbabwe. But he's not that person. They're just trying, and they're lying in the process. So I'm going to tell us you flew economy class when he actually chartered a $200,000, you know, plane, and then they go out and say, oh, he's doing that. He has refused to use Mugabe's fuel guzzling vehicle, and then he goes on behind the scenes and buys a more expensive Zim1 car. I mean, they're just trying to prop him up, but it's not going to work. So that's where Chiwenga comes in. Chiwenga has some kind of popularity with the Zimbabwean people because they're seeing him as a savior, you know. But unfortunately, by the time we get to the actual election season, the people of Zimbabwe would have awakened from their slumber and they would have realized that if they do this, if they vote for this ZANU-PF, it's not ZANU-PF, it's the military. They're actually voting for the military. And I am praying and hoping that Zimbabwean people are going to wake up. And I'm seeing that. Even if you talk to the people who are in the rural areas, they are beginning to see that. So, as I said before, we are going to see a protest vote because ZANU-PF, like everyone else is saying, is not going to do any reforms. And it's not going to hold a free and fair election. So we are going to have a situation where we have an election that pits the Zimbabwean people against the military of Zimbabwe. And I'm telling you, the Zimbabwean people are going to prevail.
All right. Thank you so much. It's 20 minutes before midnight, Kunoku, United Kingdom. Guys, in short, I have to say this. Now, Pastor Ivan Mawariri, I was at work actually. I think I said this before we started, but most of you maybe were not listening at that point. But I was at work and I saw Pastor Ivan Mawariri live on Facebook this afternoon, and he was showing us the type of water that is being used there in Harare, running out of the taps, and he put it in a bucket. And like I say, I was at my lunch and my wife made me a lunch box, and I was heating it up and sitting down, to start eating, and I was watching and seeing what's going on. And when he started showing us the water I almost stopped eating, and I switched it off, finished eating, and had a look again. The type of water that is coming out of our taps there. I don't know, is this real? Or
yes.
Maybe my eyes, I need some specs here. Has anyone seen it?
Yes, can I talk about that? Because that was something we dealt with all day today.
Is that true, my sister, or it is my eyes here?
Yes, the situation with the water in Harare has been like that for a long time. This is not new, okay? But what I really want people to pay attention to is, if you notice, the social media activists today started the water talking. It starts like it's normal, but it's actually choreographed. Waona Ivana abuda nasa nebhaketi rake remvura padzama here ataura nezvemvura kuda musasi ataura nezvemvura moona vese vanhu vezanu. These are all ZANU-PF people, mind you. Okay. No, I want you to understand. And then they were all talking about it and saying MDC Council has failed. We need to hold them accountable for this. We need to vote them out. Okay, this is an attack on MDC. So online, what actually ended up happening today was they started off like that. Watanga, it's all choreographed. So we ended up asking them, because what people don't understand is the government got a loan from China for 144 million to fix the water system in Harare. And at Chobo, the ZANU-PF government took that money and they bought luxury cars. Okay? There was also a water company that is actually connected to the president's son. Scandal. So the money that's supposed to be going to council doesn't actually end up going to council. And ZANU-PF has deliberately been underfunding Harare City Council because they want to get Harare back, because they're very, very beat about the fact that it's MDC controlled. So they have been underfunding it for a long time. You could actually see the mayor was actually talking if you follow the mayor of Harare, it was one point where he was talking, actually, they give money for football, but they won't give us money to pick up, garbage. It doesn't make sense.
Tete Rosie, this is what I like about this show. This is a twist in the tale that I didn't know, and I didn't think it was. When I saw the water, and I know I follow Fadzai Mahere, and I don't really follow the other guy you said, what's his name?
Well, it's a whole crew of them.
Yeah, because that one,
they're all vanotanga trend yavo inototanga, and then once they start, so by the time we got online and we started talking about the money, vatanga kuti nyararai, why are you talking about the money? We need to talk about the failure. No, we cannot talk about the failure without talking about the funding. Who's supposed to be giving the funding? When you guys were talking about portals, look at MDC attacks.
Can I ask you?
Batai Makadaru Mkoma Benford.
Mukati MDC attacks. Mariaku fix my roads is supposed to come from Zinara, the parastatals. The parastatals that are ZANU-PF controlled are collecting the money and not giving the money to the council.
All right, Tete Rosie, let's have a conversation. Mukoma Benford, I don't really want you to ask questions here, because I don't want this to become to spiral into something like like before. I just want you to argue your case and say, first of all, did you see what Pastor Ivan did?
Yeah. I saw that.
And you saw the water.
Yes.
Did you believe that? Do you think that's real, or it was fake?
It's close to it's real. I personally saw that when I went to Zimbabwe last December.
Oh, okay.
In waterfalls, water like that was coming out of the tap. Now this is the first time that I'm hearing that Pastor Ivan is ZANU-PF.
He is. He is ED full time. I will speak with them. Oh yes, they are. They are ZANU-PF. They are all ZANU-PF. Let me tell you what those guys do. This is what I want you guys to pay attention to the other night. What they do is democracy. And then kukangonzi MDC something vanotanga kupopotera MDC. Vanotanga vanhu vasina political party. Those are much we're just Democrats, we're just Democrats. And then ukataura anything about
Let me finish.
Okay.
Defender.
All right.
People and through 200%.
Oh, hang on a minute. Tete Rosie, let's have a conversation. I understand what you're saying, and I've heard what you're saying. I just want to hear from others as well. I know Mkoma Teach wants to say something. Chiefs also want to say something about that. Now, I didn't know that
I
this...
also want to say something.
Yes, Sekuru, you've got something to say. You see, everybody wants to have something to say. And when I started this, I didn't think it was going to spiral into this, discussing that. But
and then before you guys start talking, I want to alert you on something. Sandama had started this whole thing a while back. She actually interviewed the mayor, and the mayor explained what was going on. Again, of the same situation.
Okay, all right, hold on.
Guys.
Hold on.
Yes, hold on. I'll be very quick to the point.
Okay, go ahead.
Ndoma problems actually lead to the downfall of the opposition in MDC. Most councils in Harare, in Zimbabwe, are run, urban councils in particular, are run MDC. And they've not been run properly. That is a good example. The question I wanted to ask my sister here is...
no, I don't want those questions because this will end up in 10 hours.
I mean, he can ask, but
I will make it a question.
We are trying to make an... Yes, No, I want to ask you, when you go to work, does your employer give you the necessary supplies and equipment to do your job? The government is not. How can you do your job if you don't have enough equipment? The honeymoon is over. But do those nurses have the necessary equipment to do their job? They don't. But they're expected to do their job when they don't even get their paychecks on time.
Right.
The buck stops with the government.
Okay, right. Tete Rosie, please. Mukoma Benford, I'm sorry. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Tete Rosie, I might have to cut some of you off here. We need order here. Mukoma Benford, no question, please. We've heard what you said. You said that my councils are run MDC, they are failing, right? And you stand by that.
What I was saying is, if they don't have enough resources, actually provide resources in the ministry, why do you run water irrigating materials? It's better to say you don't have water because atina chemicals are not able to purify the water, and you highlight that to the people. But if you
the mayor has been talking about this for a while. Follow the mayor's page. He has been complaining and talking about this. And when the money is going, in fact, the mayor is having on Friday, he is having a live stream again to talk to the Zimbabwean people and tell them.
Okay, all right. Okay, hold on, guys. Sekuru, please hold on, Nkoma Benford. Sekuru.
Yes.
Yes, Sekuru, what's your take on this? I'm having a headache now here.
Right, the water situation in Harare is bad. It has always been bad. It was worse when there were ZANU-PF commissions. There was no water at all. What then happened was that the Harare City Council came and they replaced all the burst pipes that were gushing out water through the streets of Harare. And I got photos of all that work that was done. Now there is water coming out of the taps. But the water that is coming out of the taps is dirty. The reason is that the Morton Jeffrey works were allocated a certain amount of money. And this was donated by the Chinese. The money was not used for the purposes because the Minister of Local Government diverted it to ZANU-PF. And the ZANU-PF used the money. Now they are saying, can you provide the services? The services cannot be provided. Let's be clear in our minds what we want here. We want clean water supplies in Harare, all of us. But we cannot get clean water supplies if we buy cars with the money that has been donated to buy water purification plant. So when we talk about Harare City Council being run by the MDC, do we exactly know what we are talking about? Or are we just talking about the councillors that have been elected on the MDC
all right,
ticket?
Sekuru, hold on. Tetero, is he there?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, there's too much noise there. We cannot broadcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. Okay, Sekuru, go ahead.
So when we talk about MDC councillors running the city of Harare, are we aware of the overarching powers of the minister in telling this? Oh God. What's going on?
Right. Okay, let me do this. I just have to block and remove because this noise is just too much. We cannot deal with it. Okay, go ahead, Sekuru.
Are we aware of the overarching powers of the minister in terms of determining what the Harare City Council can do and cannot do? How much they can get or cannot get? Even if they get something on their own, how much it takes away from the City Council to finance party activities, not national activities, no, but party activities. The issue of the Harare water needs urgent address. There is no question about it. But to apportion the blame on the City Council as councillors is stupidity at its worst. And if they really think that it is the council that is doing that, then so be it. Let the councils go to ZANU-PF, and we will then see what would come out of that. Because we know what happened before 2008. There was no water at all. The Mavuku up to now cannot get water from Harare. Now, this is because ZANU-PF had completely neglected that area. But
Okay.
there are places in Harare where water is always constantly flowing. And one of these constituencies is Mount Pleasant. And the Mount Pleasant is where Fazai Mahere stays. And that region there is where all the ministers and the senior guys from ZANU stay. The water there is clean. You go to waterfalls, the water there is dirty. I can show you pictures of the dirty water that I've got from my own house. I can post them onto the portal. The fact is, it's a political ruse that is being sold by ZANU-PF and its campaign team, which is disguised as pro-democracy campaigners. Tomorrow the mayor will be online the whole day, and he says he wants to engage anybody over the issue. I had occasion, when he came to Warsaw the other day, I had occasion to speak to him one-on-one. And he told me that the issue is much, much deeper than what meets the eye. All the revenues are kept by the minister, and the minister decides which project will be funded and which is not funded,
All
not
right.
the council.
Okay. Sekuru, thank you so much for explaining that in a calm manner and in a technical way. Now, something was raised here that this, I don't know why I'm even asking this, but it just made me thinking here. Do you believe what Tete Rozu was saying, that people like Ivan and Fadzai are ZANU-PF?
Well, Fadzai, no question about it. Ivan was taken into custody, and he left and he ended up in the United States. He was a wanted man. He came back. What happened to him? He was released. What had happened in between the time that he went to the United States? What deals did he broker? How much can we trust Ivan with the pro-democracy movement? For a while now, I've never gone against him, and I don't want to go against him. But I can assure you, there is something in him that ZANU-PF is utilizing for the purposes of advancing its agenda. That is a fact.
All right. Okay, so thank you so much. Mkoma Teach, what's your take on this?
Ngoma says that about the water is really purely straightforward. The government in 2013 signed a deal with CIMEC, a Chinese company. At the same time that the council had signed a deal with another Indian company, I don't remember the name. And the money, unfortunately for the Chinese, as always, would have to come through government. Government was dilly-dallying at the time that actual water pumping was not available. I was in Zimbabwe at the time. And I will tell you that if you went into the shower to just open your water, it stank. At that time, it wasn't as terrible as looking in that video that Ivan showed. It was greenish, meaning it had algae in color. I couldn't bath. I tell you honestly, we were going to Musha. I said, "Ndichanogeza kumusha." Water shower ya kumusha so clean, no chitonwa fresh. You can drink it as you're showering. You go Harare, you're getting it. But to cut a long story short, is that the city of Harare said it didn't want a monopoly on the motor and Jeffrey works, so they split the work between the Indian company and the Chinese company. Now, what you need to understand is that if the money is coming through government, there is a body called the Zinara that coordinates it's like the
Zinwa.
Thank you, sir.
Zimbabwe National Water Authority.
Exactly. So it has oversight on the supply of water in Zimbabwe and construction of dams and distribution of water, potable regulation of boreholes, and all sorts of things. It's like Potras in terms of communication, technology, control, and regulation. Zinwa get a big chunk of ratepayers' money from the city of Harare and any other local authority as its share for the role that it plays in coordinating the control and supply of potable water for the residents of Harare, just zeroing in on Harare alone. So what happened is that Mayor Ben Manyineni, when he came on board, he ran with that there were two contractors and this thing that has to be done. But what then happened is that the money which was coming from the Chinese was supposed to be coming in tranches. First tranche was of 72 million, and the rest was supposed to follow, or half of whatever it was supposed to follow it. But the money was coming through the local government authority and Zinwa. Whatever the red line, the bureaucracy, the red tape that happens. And the city of Harare was not getting that. But they had a cheaper deal with the Indians of less than 10 million, which was supposed to see pumping increase. This is at the same time as Sekuru is saying that the city of Harare was replacing both water pipes and sewage pipes, because due to the failure of the pumping stations, some sewage blocked and solidified, and also that resulted in oxidization of pipes. So you would see crews when I was in Zimbabwe digging up pipes every day across the streets, ripping up streets and digging and putting in new pipes. At that time, water started flowing in the pipes. But because there was still residual water in the older pipes that were the sections that were allowed to continue to be there because they couldn't replace them all entirely. So the sections that were still working had dirty water. And that dirty water would contaminate treated water that was coming out. So people were told that it will take 3 to 4 months before clear water comes out. And at some point, clear water started coming out. And then, unfortunately, whatever the Chinese were doing, for some reason, they paid and went, and work stopped. And pumping again stopped. And when pumping stops, it means the water treatment itself stops.
Okay.
And that is where the actual problem is of responsibility. That the ZANU-PF government and Zinwa and the Ministry of Local Government are undermining council for political reasons and also for corruption reasons, because that's how they make their money. they delay national projects so that the value continues to grow and go up, and they continue to take all their brides. It happened again with the Kariba South, which was initially 355 million. Right now it's close to $1 billion. But they do that in delay as part of corruption. At the moment, to be honest, the city of Harare, I only blame them in so far as maybe not taking it up and making a good public relations issue as to why the city residents were not getting the water. But the truth of the matter is that they are hamstrung because they did not negotiate the funding from the Chinese company. Because what is happening is that the Chinese Export Bank is supplying the money and then insisting on the contract being given to a Chinese company. Okay. And the city of Harare wanted to go to tender and issue to the best bidder, most competitive bidder, the best value for money. And that's where the problem is. So there was an actual fight between the local government ministry and the city of Harare as to who must get the bid. That's why we ended up with two contractors, the Indian and the Chinese. The Chinese had the bigger money, and there was more money for the corrupt to draw on the Chinese deal because it was coming from the Chinese Export Bank to a Chinese company.
Wow, there's a lot to this. So, Mkomatichi, in one word, please. Teterozi came up with something that, these activists as ZANU-PF. Do you think that's the case?
Well, if you want to ask it that, I don't know why you're even asking that. You saw them all hooking up with the war veterans in Lumumba, what's his name, Gerald Mtumanji, Aka Asi Lumumba. Who everyone knows who he is. Asi Lumumba is the son of Brigadier General Matumanji. So if people don't know that and they follow and they play around with things like that, it's a complete waste of time. So the truth of the matter is that yes, they are ZANU-PF activists. If you look at initially when this flag started, we were questioning that all the pictures of even weddings that Pastor Evans were doing were with the likes of Jonathan Moyo and ZANU-PF stalwarts. Those were his circles. You didn't know him before that. So if you go and just look just before this flag, where was he? You will see he was in ZANU-PF circles. He's the one that was attending their ceremonies, even some of the weddings. Not once, many pictures, we circulated them. And at that time, it was a popular movement. It was difficult to shout it down, and everyone didn't believe. But if you look at what happened during the coup, these guys were running around in cars, with war veterans and saying we've done it, even coming out crying on social media as if they've personally achieved something glorious, But the truth of the matter is that we all know that ZANU-PF is a complete system. We want ZANU-PF as a complete system out. Look, I come from ZANU-PF. I was born and bred in it. I know what I'm talking about when I talk about these issues. These guys are rogues. That is the truth.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much, Mkoma teacher. Mkoma Tawanda, I know kuti you've got your own perspective, but tatauri kwa technical terms achapa. So if you agree with it, you don't have to repeat it. Okay.
All year long. If you want to run my tape, you can see that. Yeah. I've always been talking about these pseudo activists, and I've always been bashed. We are all in ZANU-PF. I've talked about an AC Lumumba. He came out of ZANU-PF and started his own party. But you could see that he was never in his own party. He was still ZANU-PF. The same applies. Promise Mkwananzi. I said it here, promise Akinzi. And everyone was bashing me. But now you can tell after what happened, we all saw those who were real activists and those who were pseudo activists. Now the story behind all this, DJ, is these people had been promised something by Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa was supposed to be a reformist. Mnangagwa was supposed to be all-encompassing, taking these youth, taking all these activists and giving them positions. But the way he came into power now, this is what we're talking about. He doesn't have power. He was supposed to give Vesana, AC Lumumba, and a promise, and all those activists some positions. And they didn't. If you notice, just immediately after the cabinet was announced, AC Lumumba was going after ZANU-PF. And I think something happened along the way. They made a mistake because ana opa mchinguri nema veterans vakatotaura kuti hatisi kuvada vapana G40 vanozotinetsa, and they were completely left out, and they were about to turn against ZANU-PF. That's when AC Lumumba was given this position, social media, I think almost the same position yangeapiwa Chinamasa. He is now the one who is in charge of that, and he had to make himself get fired from his own party so that you could go back to ZANU-PF. The same thing happened with Themba Mliswa. We were talking about it. Themba Mliswa is opposition. Argu ZANU-PF. Now he is showing his true colors. He has gone back to ZANU-PF. And I mean, all these people that we are talking about, they've never been with us. These are the people who were saying Mugabe must go. And they were just saying Mugabe must go so that Mnangagwa can come in. Now, as I was saying before, they have arrived. Let's speak up a bus stop, so they are there, they are okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's continue with the struggle.
Thank you so much, Chief Sodza. There, I concur with what you're saying. You've always maintained that there are all ZANU-PF people that have been deployed to Kuvexawan and all that. Thank you so much for that. Sally.
Yes, DJ Sodza.
I know Sekuru Namkoma teacher have explained to the full the problem with water in Harare there. I don't know if you've got anything to add there, or you want to concur with what other people are saying, that people like Nana Lumumba, Nana Pastor, Ivan, Nana Mukwananzi, they are really projects. That you're leaving alone. What about the water?
The water thing, I mean, what Tichin Sekuru said is spot on. I mean, anybody that holds MDC responsible for what's happening in Harare City Council, they're kind of crazy, okay? I mean, you can see, I don't even go into that a whole lot, but I know that the MDC councillors can do nothing. I mean, you don't have to be clever to realize that. Okay, so I mean, don't hold MDC responsible for ZANU-PF performance.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Tell my shop there.
I don't know. People who tend to point out this faction and this faction, it tends to murky the waters, and then people kind of divert from the real issue. Look, MDC have been trying really to practically milk a cow that is not being fed, and they're supposed to be turning tricks or be magicians. They've done their best. With Mbava Ombe Chaids, and why even go round and round Vantishiti MDC as or Deyangas Shakati and not really hitting home. As for Nyaekutu, who is where is ZANU-PF, you know what? Those kids, some of them, they've got their hearts in the right place. Ace Lumumba, I think almost anybody and everybody has always maintained kuti ZANU-PF, he will never change. He was brought up achidya bota reZANU-PF. He will die beating bota reZANU-PF. As for Amwevechidikava, you know what? I'll hold my peace with most of them, because imo muno ma America muno tunoziya ma hardcore ma ZANU-PF vakanyarara vanopula ma strings vasingafe vakataurwa kana by name. About 4 or 5 people so why go to a very prominent young activist muchisia the old guards vachona chaicho at the root of the problems? That's a bit hypocritical.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. Mukoma Wilbert.
I think I agree with what she's saying, and I honestly think people are losing sight of things here. To be quite honest, the economy is in such a bad state that 90% are unemployed. and those 90% are the residents of Harare. How do you expect them to pay for the rates? And that is the income that the council need to run their day-to-day activities. So as long as the economy is in a mess, you can't expect a smaller organization below it to perform. So in this particular case, even if we did not know the details of these water contracts, for instance, even if it was all in MDC's hands, they cannot get revenue from people who are unemployed. So in this particular case, if you want a better council, you've got to get the government, a better government that will deliver on the economic growth and get people employed so that they can pay their rates. That is the bottom line. And as for the issue of some of these activists being this or that, some of them, yes, they may be ZANU-PF or whatever, but some of them are genuinely mistaken. They honestly believe that what has happened, for instance, with the coup was the right thing. And I think some people here are saying, ZANU-PF will lose because those people are waking up. The truth of the matter is I wish they could. But if you look at what happened in the street, and I spoke to a lot of people that day during that march, people genuinely believed that was the right thing. And they genuinely believed that let's give Mnangagwa a chance. So if elections are held in the next few months, you may find a lot of people who genuinely believe there's been significant change, let's vote for ZANU-PF, which would be a big mistake, and that is what I was also saying here. So in this particular instance, that's what we need to look at.
We need to focus. We need to focus on that. We need to focus on that. Vasa nyengedzwe nedo with a gonzo like this, right?
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Mukoma Benford, please, in brief, what's your take on this? Mataura. That's. Yeah, you can tell that it has been long. Mataura guy Mukoma Benford.
No, that's not regarding this. I'll be very short.
Okay.
You know what Tete Rosie was saying, what Tawanda was saying, to me it's very, very sad. Okay? This is how we kill discussions amongst us as Zimbabweans. If you highlight any weaknesses in the opposition, you are labeled ZANU-PF. If you highlight my weaknesses as ZANU-PF, you are labeled MDC. And therefore, that kills the conversation. We cannot say Pastor E, in as much as but this is somebody who was almost murdered by ZANU-PF, who was arrested by ZANU-PF. We had to flee, right now he's separated from his family because of ZANU-PF. And we are saying he is now ZANU-PF. Just because he has highlighted what somebody are perceiving as my weaknesses, an MDC run council. People, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Let's discuss these ideas. Kana MDC council in more problems. They should highlight that to their constituents. They should communicate now. These are the challenges we are facing. This is why we are not pumping water. Not to simply say, as citizens, you should not say a thing. You should not even open your mouth to say the water is dirty because you'll be labeled ZANU-PF. I think that is a big problem.
All right.
You've mentioned my name, let me respond. You've mentioned my name, let me respond. Wanyatotaurirwa sekuru vanyatsokutsanangurira how all this issue yemvura yakabva kupi. Let's also not just blame MDC Council.
No,
let me finish.
What I'm saying here is
your 1 minute. So let me finish.
Okay.
Sekuru vanyatsotsanangura sister vedu vanyatsotsanangura exactly the cause of the problem. So for these activists to just come and attack the MGC without going to the Minister of Local Government and all those other parastatals, it's wrong. And in short, to go back to your issue, Yama activists, Yana Pastor Mawariri, it is the behavior, Mukoma, it is the action behind that make us, end up thinking that these people are ZANU-PF. Wakaona anopinda mujeri achitora maselfie ari mujeri ndiani? Wakaona anopinda mujeri opinda muoffice otorwa mapikicha akagara pamasofa when he's supposed to be in jail ndiani? That only happened to Pastor Mawarire and this other girl. And those are the actions that make us think or end up thinking that way. They persuade us to think in a certain way. But activists are right now.
Yes, they
are never accorded those same privileges to get selfies while they are in jail. And after them, they've been in jail for a day and then they are busy taking selfies. Where do you see that? How do you explain that?
Can I respond?
Can I answer on your behalf there? Can I just comment on your behalf, Bedford? I think Chief Sosha, what you've got to appreciate here is Sadzai Mahere is going to stand, even if she's standing as an independent, she's going to have to win votes from people who are already against ZANU-PF. So in this particular case, when she's trying to say something that is criticizing the opposition, to her, that is her competitors. So to say the opposition, the MDC has failed, is part of her constituency, it's part of her competition. So you should be expecting that.
All right.
To label her that she's ZANU-PF just because she's criticizing.
We talked about the
to miss the point.
What the preferential treatment that they are given when they are arrested. That is what makes us think that way, or persuade us to think that way.
She doesn't have to be up with Nekiri ZANU-PF. She may have the right connections. There are other people who have got the right connection of very similar treatment. I think the point I'm making here, and I think that is what Benford is also saying, is that we should realize she has got her own constituency. She has already declared that she wants to stand, and she has got to win. If she's going to win in Mount Pleasant, she has got to take votes from MDC, from the opposition, because ZANU-PF people will vote for ZANU-PF. Opposition people will be voting for either Sadzai or Tendai Biti or whoever it is in the MDC alliance is going to stand in that constituency.
Right. Zimbabwe. This is the last show of the year. We've taken 20 minutes of our time here. So basically what I have to say is have a fantastic new year. And I hope that we'll get there in good health, and that everyone will be back next Thursday on the show. I've learned quite a lot today, especially I had no clue where the problem lies, but Sekuru and Mkomatish, they've explained things to me that I had no clue about. And I don't know why these things were not written, with our media back home there, to explain to people really what is happening on the background. So, that's why sometimes I come to this show as well, thinking, I might learn one or two things there. People have got knowledge out there, but it's just a matter of asking them, and you'll be given it. My thanks to everyone for the rest of the year, really, for putting up with me here. And and also I would like to thank GV3, who took care of the show for 2 weeks, 3 weeks rather, in April, when me and Sekuru were enjoying ourselves in Zimbabwe there. Thank you so much, Mkoma GV3, for that. We'll see what next year brings. Thank you so much, everyone. Sally, thank you. Sekuru, Mkoma Benford, Chief Soshe, Mkoma Wilbert, Mkoma Teach, Tetewe Mashoko, Tete Rose. I know you're trying to call us back now, but we are concluding now. Thanks very much for your participation. And Mama Tangira as well. Let me also say that I managed to speak in Awamoyo the other day. He posted ku WhatsApp group kweduko and said that he was okay and he's in good health, but he didn't want to get into details of where he was and when he will be rejoining the show, maybe he just want the dust to settle a little bit before he comes back.
Yay!
But
he's one of the disappointed ones.
I'm quite happy with Moyo at a very long distance.
Yeah, it's always
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Don't forget to vote for Mnangagwa in 2018.